Aw. I miss you in your face too. I have to drop in for your stream very, very, very soon. Hopefully you're doing well. Nothing but love for you. And for those that don't know, Miss Scarlett streams as well. Please go show her some love and support. Phenomenal spirit. Love what she does. Alright. Something like that. I don't know why I'm all sorts of stressed and shaking right now. Last that kind of rubbed me in the wrong way. Alright. Both mages, this Isat Lefay, both going that Vampiric Typhons. I'm assuming it's going to be into a Genji directly after because both teams. This recorded. Yeah, because I post my VODs. Hold on. The Lefay, immediately the target of focus and able to be secured via First Blood. A ton of lockdown. Immediate target. Med was popped as well. And I'm going to have to go back and just watch that because that was extremely quick. Both relics popped here. It was pinged out. The Achilles wraps. Gets the shield bash. The Yamoja 3 into a horrific. Proves too much. Yamoja 3 puts her out of position into the team. Really, really well done by Michek to secure First Blood. Now, the Yamoja 3 into horrific just proves more than enough. Bringing the Lefay into the rest of his team and proving that to be killed. All of that facilitated by the Achilles wrap, getting the shield bash, and then immediately walking into the Yamoja 3, pushing him back. And then a horrific, it's always had, all of it had to happen. Shell, just not enough. First Blood secured for Michek. But yeah, so all my sets are all on my streams. I post a VOD on Twitch. You can actually watch them back later, deal. So technically, yes, it is recorded. All of the Joust games are posted as well on our YouTube. If you do ! YouTube. For those that aren't already subbed to that, it is free. But all those games are posted by our lovely editor, OJ Man. So yeah, good question. 3 buff rotation secured from Michek. A possible invade attempt by Kenji proving unsuccessful. Gab now the target. CDs pops horn shard to try to get away. Yamoja chunked out a little bit here. Spirit Ball just off the mark. Would have proved more than enough to kill X Ball. However, got the Lefay. Yamoja does have ult. Spirit Ball just on a range. Full Michek roster, assuming we're going to be backing. Gonna check leveling order here by the full roster. So X-Ball notably leveling the dash. Gab leveling the 2 over the 3 AK shield. The 1 being leveled on Natalie for the E-set instead of Spirit Ball. 1 on Yamoja. 3 on Achilles. Oops. Apologize for that. I'm really waiting for this alt-central or alt-centric team, the Michek, to really utilize them. It's going to be interesting to try to draw this Kenji roster out of the tower. A lot of this I feel like is going to be a bull bait, right? You bait bull, get a nice Yamoja or 3 them back into you when they step out, forcing beads or alt, and then pull bull again. Ton of sustain and healing, and honestly, you drop an ESAT alt, we just secure it pretty heavily as well. That's where a lot of that's going to be happening. So my eyes turn toward bull at second item. However, in execution, I don't even get to talk about what those fights would look like. Achilles able to execute this X-Ball. Horrific popped. Trying to put any damage onto this X-Ball. Yamoja ults. Spirit Ball off the mark. Silence able to catch her, though. A full team wipe would be a deicide, however, Gab just spawning in. It is a very small world. The Joust community is a very small place. It's true. Blue, purple are spawning. A big star and lead for Meat Shack. Yeah. Silence catches the X-Ball dash. Spirit Ball forces the X-Ball beads. Really well played by the ESET. Beads are now off that X-Ball. There is kill potential here. Emoja does. No one on the Meat Check roster has ult quite yet. Gab stepping up aggressively. Gets a nice double ult. However, execution just came up and proves more than enough to kill the Gab. Achilles hovering his ult. Able to back off here pretty much for free. Yet another kill favoring this Achilles. Big Fearless. Kenij stepped in to take the fight and actually secure a kill. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Love the positioning and aggressiveness here by that Kenij roster. Jab is back. Achilles style down for 8. X-Ball dashing in, obviously leveling that dash. LeFay 3 just off the mark. 1 did contact, however, meditation popped. Full reset by the Kenij roster. Like I said, you're planning to double magical. It's going to be the magical item first, aka Genji's. This is an interesting by the emoji going Fey Hoops on second item. Achilles feeling comfortable enough to go damage second item here. We're at a little over 30 seconds before spawn. Yamoja's wrapping, trying to get a cheeky ult, catch him out of tower, and does. All 3 members of the Kenij roster are caught out by the Yamoja ult. However, isn't enough damage. The Achilles able to execute a double execute, maybe going for a triple off damage alone. Is the X-Ball able to secure the kill? He is. A 2-for-1 trade. Phenomenally played by Meat Check. Yamoja just catching the Kenij roster off guard with a beautiful ult. Scarlett, I do miss you. We need to talk or hang out sometime. Hopefully you're doing really well. Oh my gosh, just not enough damage onto the X-Ball. Dash, getting him just out of range. Red is up. All 3 members here for Kenij. Achilles pathing in. Gotta be a little careful. No ults on either team. Relic, Graveyard on both rosters as well. Meat Check able to secure their red buff. X-Ball trying to auto down as much as possible. Spirit Ball off the mark. Ultimate's coming up shortly for LeFay and ESAT. Achilles trying to do any kind of range poke possible. A big amount of damage onto that X-Ball. Allows Meat Check to path aggressively, looking for a blue invade here. LeFay feeling confident enough to path around. Gotta be really careful. You're playing into an ESAT who has ult. Gab ults all 3. There's the ESAT ult. He saw it just not enough. Good body block for the Achilles execution. However, costing him his life. Gab going down. I love the pathing, taking the execute for the LeFay. However, it cost the Gab in the end. Some meat checking going on? Oh, yeah. We whip out our mash of dongs, schlongadongs for the BBC. I'm still not saying Attire's name. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. You ain't making me. Blue able to be secured here. X-Ball popping alt, trying to turn any damage. 3 autos off the mark. X-Ball caught in Yamoja alt. A big Yamoja 1 securing the damage. Gonna repath directly after. Horrific pop, trying to help clear or close some of that gap. Is it enough though? And it is a wonderful horrific by this Achilles, securing just out of threshold based off the first swing of the Lefay alt, taking it out of execution threshold. A little unfortunate, but isn't enough damage turned. Full range Spirit Ball, just not enough. I'm playing Anubis for the records. That's crazy. I think Anubis getting a triple kill was fucking wild. The Vamana ulting and then canceling alt, trying to dash after. Oof. Oof. It was definitely an Omega lol moment. Anyway. Both wards in choke points owned by Genjis. A big lead here. Our start 10 minutes in by Meat Check. Really being facilitated by this Achilles. The executions, the horrifics have been on point. A Midgard locked in an itemization slot only to help him with the auto attack speed slow and movement slow onto this Kenji roster, just facilitating, allowing his team to get in position. A ton of slows. Now, that being the case, what I would love to see from this Geb, possible Wingblade, possible Heavenly. Execution a little too early. Possible misplay here. Fortunately, just not enough damage turned on. No, you're good, girl. Just DM me. We'll talk on the side. I'm usually always working or always streaming. I do nothing but work. However, X-Ball beats and dash force. Yamoja alt just off the mark. A little unfortunate. We can definitely talk on the side and try to figure something out. I have more than enough. I will make time. Make time out of thin air. All right. So notable, obviously the Achilles alt a little early, Yamoja alt a little off the mark. However, you did force X-Ball beads. Just kind of building off this lead with farm. Now, what I was trying to say was I would love to see either a Heavenly, right, or a Cursed Donk from this Geb, but a Wingblade just for the amount of slows. I mean, you have a horrific you're dealing with. You have Yamoja 1s. You have the slow on E-set. Just the slows you're going to have to deal with yourself or the E-set, let alone the X-Ball post-dash or beads. Is going to be incredibly hard to deal with. It would be really good utility for his team in addition to the Geb Shield Cleanse. This is really interesting. I don't mind this is an aggressive pull. Keep in mind, they are on a ward, so they are very aware. However, this was a full team back. A possible misplay on pathing by Meat Check, and is. Really good macro call by Kenji, even though they are very behind. Able to secure a bull. Now you gotta be a little careful. Yamoja was looking for a wrap. I cannot stress enough the CC to stop the Yamoja to make sure she didn't get a good value all. However, it might prove just in vain as Gab as the result are picked up. This has to be upgraded to Phantom Shell yesterday. Yamoja 3s and alts have been proving invaluable. T1 still being a net result. Yamoja utilizing her 2 really well here. Beads immediately forced on this Lefay. T1 is secured. Gab is up. Level 9 though. A little unfortunate. We're a little under leveled. We do have a Heart Ward. Backs are stopped. About a quarter left on this bowl. Possible chance for T1. However, Lefay is nowhere near. You got to be careful. Achilles still has execute. Unable to catch the dash. X-ball. Seems to be the target. There's the gab ball. Achilles still trying to hover execute. Trying to turn any damage you can. X-ball trying to put in any work you can. A big Lefay ult. Good ESA ult for the sustain. This is a big trade here, though. Emoja's the target. Lefay being the facilitator. Gab is low. No health. X-Ball dashing in aggressively. Gets a good slow on the Emoja. Beats the one. Should result in a kill and does. This is a big fight for Kenij. We have 3 archers. With Gab's shield, we should be able to take this pretty easily. X-Ball doing his best to secure the tower. Ozzy is procced. ESET beads are popped. I would like to see them back off. Achilles up in 4. I love that. T1 for T1. Big play by Kenij. Making good use of that double kill. Trying to get as much farm, get purple or red. I would have liked to see a minor adjustment there. See the Lefay pick up red, X-Ball go purple, getting purple. However, small would seem a slight adjustment that would have worked in their favor. Obviously, purple giving attack speed prod tread, and the red scaling off of the power, obviously playing into this build. Notable, instead of going the Typhons, immediately going the Divine for any anti-heal for the ESAT and Emoja. We did get the upgraded Phantom Shell for the Emoja ult. Achilles is wrapping. You got to be a little careful. Gab still in base. This is going to turn a little awkward. Dash is used. It's always a little bit of a bait to turn around and auto. This Achilles, who has Midgard, that's slow, from playing ADCs myself, is extremely annoying. Gab double ultimate, knock up. The Emoja sustaining up their team. Lefay doing her level best to sustain the team. Gab, Phantom Shell use. You gotta be extremely careful. Sunder has been used. X-Ball autoing away on the Achilles. Spirit Ball contacting 2. A massive ESAT ult. However, Achilles execution just out of range. Wave is here. However, proving just not enough. I would have liked to see a curse knock here on the Gab, because the ESAT is using that ult for that healing amongst the Emoja 2. The curse knock would have been invaluable for the team here. That healing doing so much. Achilles is wrapping. No ults. Achilles uses blink though. Gab a little out of position. You got to be careful. That Achilles ult is coming up. Roll out, able to close or get away. X-Ball forced to dash out. Horrific used on the Gab. Lefay. He said ult dropped. Achilles execute. Proves just enough. Gab double sundered. Immediately executed a 2-for-1. Wave is here. However, they're tanking it. Emoja ult proves more than enough. Create some of that separation. X-Ball beats and dashes aggressively. Gotta be careful we don't get CC'd. Red spawn, purple up, Emoji going 1. ESAT recognizing that, going to red right away. X-Ball able to secure purple. He wants to get aggressive here. Gets the 2 slow. Actually, X-Ball pulling bull. Achilles still down. Doesn't grab purple. ESAT in the meantime getting red. So a 1-for-1 buff. Gab, Lefay pulling blue. Achilles stepping up 2 ward bull and does. Back up here. Gab dash caught. However, no one around really turn out any damage. Waves clashing. So, sentry pressure on their own choke point and bull controlled by Kenij. 2 sentries in hand. Yemoja clearing the sentry off bull. I would like to see this Achilles put his sentry aggressive. Owning full ward pressure via meat check. Yemoja, a massive ult onto 2. X-Ball forced to dash out. A big phantom shell by Gab. Really well done. However, his dash is caught. In execution range, gotta be a little careful to back up. Spirit Ball just off the mark. This meat check roster able to easily sustain back up. Gotta be a little careful. Achilles blinked. He does have horrific, so he's gonna look for that post dash, and he does immediately horrific. Lefay forced to ult. That's a 1-0 trade. Gab just getting here. A big 3-man fearless from the Lefay, buying us some separation in time. Wave still back there, so they're not able to fully tank that. Notable, a big difference here between these mages. A level 18 to level 16, a full item here for NK Typhons. For this ESAT comparison to Lefay, who still has Bow. Forced to go an upgraded Phantom right away for safety. Able to pick up the Yemoja in exchange for Bird. A 2-for-1. Gab getting Sunder on the Achilles. Spear Ball off the mark. Nice shield bash into a double silence. He said drops all. Big silence. Not able to get execution off. Close gap. Execution backstep. X-Ball is here for the slow. However, slowed by Midgard himself. Forced to back off, securing Bird. A net win for Meat Check, able to get red as well. Oh, have to do like jumping jacks or some shit. Purple pulled as well. I have caffeine, I'm dying though. The caffeine's eating me alive. I'm dying. I'm out here dying. I got it right here. Just gotta keep going. Gotta keep going. We keep going, chat. We keep fucking going. It's for the boys. For the community. Hey, hey. Alright. Sunder upgraded by this Yemoja. Relics being their prioritization. Yemoja pathing back in. Gab a little out of position here. Gotta be really careful. Execution is up. No Aegis on him. I will 100% send you a friend. Wait, how are we not friend? I will find you, Miss Scarlet. I will find you, don't you worry. I know the easiest way to hold on. Boys and girls, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, hold on. I know the easiest way to explain this. Boom. There we go. Alright. Aegis, the Achilles execution, but horrific proving more than enough. A double ESAT ult as well on Titan. Lefay proving to be the only one. Blondie's more of a villain character, true. A 1-0 in the set. Meat Check able to get the double, securing it. Yemoja ESAT on Titan as well. Able to take it home for game number 1. Haterade? There's Haterade? I'm over here drinking normal Gatorade, and apparently there's Haterade. That's crazy. That horrific Midgard doing a ton for this Achilles. Able to expose his Blondie. Damn, you got me. Fuck, Blondie after dark. Honestly, just built fucking different. What a dick. It'd actually be funny because calling me a dick would actually go after or fit with my MO, aka BBC Omega Lol. Joke's on you, motherfucker. Yeah, it's been in the writing's been on the wall the whole time, Taylor. You're just a bitch. Anyway, Michak versus Kenij. Game number 1 goes to Michak. What do you do? That's a good question. That's a good question. See, how I answer this completely tells a lot about me. See, do we like kidnap that current boyfriend and like, you know, do away with him? Or do you be the good guy and just stand aside, do what's right? Or do you become close friends with the girl, get to know her, and like be that close friend so when she breaks up or gets dumped, you're the immediate go-to? There's plenty of options. I'm not going to tell you which way to go. I'm going to tell you to do what's right. That's what I'm going to tell you. Good guys finish last, but I'm going to be honest, that's kind of... I have practiced that, and I have the most amazing woman I could ever ask for. But here I am streaming to all y'all, so there's that too. Too much you on Netflix, Drew. Anyway. We can become better stalkers, yeah. Or there's the fourth option. You just literally become a stalker and do the wrong thing. Yeah. You can sign it. That's crazy. Anyway, all that aside, 3 guardians, 2 mages, and an assassin banned out. Achilles picked up to take it away from Mac and the value executions that he was running. Notably, this Achilles, especially with these bruiser mages, has been elected and kind of more at the forefront in draft, dealing with this double tank ask, getting a ton of value off this execute. I love this pick, assuming that the enemy team's going to do that. But if they go that traditional pick or traditional draft, do you really find that value? On a solo tank, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, and you don't find as much value there. Immediately, I would like to see an edit or change in draft by this Michak roster to try to punish the fact that they did pick that up front. Camazot's immediately elected for here. Bring your own ski mask. That's crazy that we're actually talking about that, Taylor. I worry about you some days, man. Camazot's locked in for Michak, ready to whip out their massive schlong and really put it to the test. Oh, I'm getting tired. That's crazy. Waiting to see what edits or adjustments, if any, they elect to do here. My solo where's the backup? You know, one day I'll figure out where my backup is. But having you and my commentary roasting me 24/7, I feel like would exhaust me sooner. Ganesh immediately locked in. The silence, the Dharmic pillars, we want to separate a ton of that team fight. True. I'm hard to put up with. Waiting to see what... I mean, obviously when you lock in Achilles, you don't want him to be a solo frontline, so I'd assume you're immediately going to have another frontliner here for this Kenij roster. Wondering what draft they're electing to go for. Going for this E-Shell. I love E-Shell. The mitigations added to that alt, the healing on this too. This bruiser build really lends itself to this pick. However, that survivability into this Ganesh alt or Camazot's dive is going to be a little rough post or counter dive. Immediately, more mages are going to be banned out against Meat Check. Well, I'm assuming there are going to be more Guardian bans on the side of Meat Check, more towards Slayness. Assuming the Z-Shell is going to be on Bolden, this Achilles is going to be on Swag. Instead, an ADC ban. So X-Ball on her. I'm assuming banned away. I think they're going to go more traditional draft here. Don't necessarily dislike those P's and B's either. I wasn't even paying attention. The fact that LaFay is left wide open is kind of wild to me, knowing that that would prioritize. Surely they didn't get, like, that doesn't come through 5th pick. That is incredibly unfortunate. If that is locked in, that draft is extremely rough to deal with. You're going to have a Ganesh alt and silence. If you don't get relics or alt off E-Shell, she's just dead. Into the Fae Bruiser, so Bruiser for Bruiser. Okay. So this is, I'm assuming, what will be 2 Bruiser mages and an Achilles execution into much of the same. However, once Camazotz gets itemization online, it's going to be the Camazotz survivability and sustain is going to prove more than enough. This will be interesting. It'll be really interesting. Something like that. All right. Kenij versus Meat Check. Game number 2. Meat Check up 1-0 on the set. Camazotz is wrapping here. Gotta be a little careful. Or the target selection. E-Shell beats Force. Kama poked out. Horn Shards popped almost across the board. 2 out of the 4 used. Achilles should be facilitated pretty easily via this Aphrodite, putting in a ton of work because of it. Great, massive amount of burst damage. This sustain is going to be extremely hard to deal with. This is going to have to be an all-in. Achilles blinks over wall, trying to steal buff. Unfortunately unable to. Ganesh now center focus. Root connects. Ganesh dash away. This is going to be an all-in, and is first blood onto the Achilles. Shell utilized late, unfortunately. Camazotz blinks in, trying to go for that counter dive. Isn't enough. The A cancel. Just enough. A 2-kill swing for this Kama, who's going full damage. Not what you want to see. That lead going on to the Camazotz, if he continues to facilitate it, is going to be really rough to deal with. So a 3 buff rotation, 2 kills in favor of Meat Check. A dream start, if you will. A big lead here already under 2 minutes in. Couldn't ask for more. Achilles stopping the back of the LaFay. A little out of position. You got to be careful. Beads are immediately used. This is would be a big change back, and is really well done. A little unfortunate. Achilles catches, but a counter pick. Cursed Hawk was used as well, but the damage more than enough. The E-Shell alt. Camazot's going to have to alt away. Cancels alt, but is it enough? He secures kill. Almost gets out if it wasn't for the E-Shell one catching. A 2 for 2. We have ourselves a game. I love this back and forth. Exceptional plays on both sides. A little bit of a miss by here. Immediately going into Thebes instead of, I'm assuming he was trying to go prophetic. slow put on the ground for this Achilles. The slow proving a ton to deal with. LaFay damage coming across. Really well played by the LaFay. The slow allowing you to close gap. The alt proving just enough damage to secure it. This E-Shell burst damage doing a absolute ton. Afro alt should get you out of harm's way. However, the Achilles blinking in, securing a kill. Gotta be careful, he just jumps and does. You never get that until post jump, unfortunately. Chesters are up at choke points. A really good back and forth game. I love this response and draft. Draft really favoring and doing really well for Kenij. Gotta be a little careful and conscious, however, of this Camazotz going this full damage. He almost has to always be that target, but the survivability, immunity frames on the dash, the safety off of alt, gonna prove really hard to do. What's up, Fab Duels? How are you, baby? Don't ask me why I'm still going. I am. Root only catching the LaFay. E-Shell, the focus. Curse Knock used. E-Shell sustaining up a substantial amount. Really good blink. Looking for the alt. Doesn't need it. E-Shell able to secure it. A big slow again. The facilitation is exceptionally played by Michek. Kama doing a ton of work off of the facilitation of this Ganesh and LaFay. I love, instead of using that Fearless, she's changing that one to that slow, helping her team close gap in addition to the Camazotz slow on 2. Just exceptionally play it all around. Gamma does do some insane work. Gotta be a little careful. This Achilles does have execution. However, he's getting a little work down. Able to execute out of range at perfect timing. A really great cast by the E-Shell going for that root 2. Get some good bursts onto the Ganesh simultaneously. Thebes on this Achilles. Aphrodite right away as well. I'm getting a little goofy. A little tired goofy. So the Thebes into a T1s, 2 T1s here, obviously again off that misbuy. Double Thebes breastplate. Gamma jumping onto this Afro who doesn't have ult, should be dead and is. Gotta be a little careful. E-Shell forced to ult just for the sustain and is immediately picked. E-Shell would love to get a cast on the Kama, however, won't be able to. Kama just sustaining off the pools. That sustain is just silly. You would have soaked that up and just immediately stay. So Brawler is already online for this Kama to deal with a ton of healing from this E-Shell Afro. So notably, I still think this Kama runs away with this game, going full damage, especially off the facilitation of this Ganesh LaFay. He is center focus for this team, forced to jump away, doesn't have ult and gets executed. Really good awareness by the Kenij roster. Execution just a little Unfortunate timing, obviously, because he had to use it. Ran out of time after executing the Kama. Kama just spawning. I do want to... Normally I wouldn't do this, but I am curious here. I want to see how much time this Kama had in all. So he gets executed 14 seconds on ult. Okay. Just curious how much time he had in ult before, because if he has ult, he just lives. Ishao ulting across. Curse Lonk was used. So this triple tank obviously does decent, but is going to lose a lot of its value late, especially in this full damage Kama. More so Bruiser. Lefay. I'm a little shocked by the breastplate pickup here versus a double magical, especially into the magical damage. Beads forced by this Lefay Ganesh onto the E-shell. Oh no, the Kama able to secure a kill onto this E-shell. Unfortunately, backing in range of this Kama blink. Kama now kind of just pushing away because he can. Able to secure T1 pretty freely here. Gotta be a little careful. Secures tower. Lefay still on alt. The execution, I didn't even think he'd be in execution threshold. I think just popped, almost perfect timing, able to flick that around. Chesters are up, purples as well. Wave shoving under. Yishel just securing blue for herself. Should be a full back / reset by meat check. Kama, once spawning, will be able to come up, clear wave, look for Chesters and Bull. 10-minute mark. Kama doesn't have ult or blink, hovering around, just looking for any kind of poke. You see him on a poke from Kama and Ganesh pretty much for free or uncontested. Lefay securing their own blue. Should be wave and immediate pathing over. Kama might want to back to get second relic first. Guess not. Immediately pulls Bull. He isn't on a ward, although it's pretty well known. The rough part here is you gotta shove into a Ganesh alt Lefay full cast to get into that corridor. It's at a quarter health. They have to make a decision now. Horn shard pop by the Achilles. Blink a little late. You're playing into the Kama now. Kama looked to back off to get the blink. Execution came through for the Ganesh. Afro ults for the immunity frames. Kama into alt to avoid execution. Lefay gets the heal off the tube. Trying to survive as much as possible. 2v2 now. Achilles will be the target. 2 off the mark from the Kama. However, proves more than enough damage. That should be pretty much a GG. Closest person to spawning, 20 seconds. Lefay grabbing wave. Kama pathing straight in as the full damage dealer trying to get damage started. Able to do a fair amount of damage himself. Once wave gets here, should pretty much chunk it away. And does. A little unfortunate for Kenij. While it started decently, Kama immuning execution with ult, turns that fight, kills the E-shell, and immediately turns that fight into completing. massive lead now, favoring Meat Check. Now this would be a Titans. I assume would be a Titans for the Kama. Gotta be a little careful. Kama had blink, connects the 2 for the slow. Trying to close gap as much as possible. Gets rooted, forced the ult. Heavily used. Kama ult canceled. Dashes away. Didn't get any relics. However, got Afro ult for blink ult on Kama. Kama able to secure the kill. Onto the Afro. E-Shell trying to do as much damage and sustain at the same time. Achilles ult. Thought was getting him out of range. Secured by Kama and this Lefay damage. This should be the all-in onto Titan. All ults are down. Lefay. E-Shell fighting for dear life. Trying to put as much damage out. Dealing with Fire Wave. Doing with 2. Unfortunately, not enough. A 2-0 set for Michek. GG's. Really well played by both. All right, boys and girls, 4 sets watch tonight. I will be posting the VOD shortly. I love y'all. We're going to be raiding Geller. And I'm going to call it a night myself. Go say hi to Geller if you can. I will be back on tomorrow. We have plenty more Joust sets to watch then. I'll be updating brackets a little bit right now. And then watching those Joust sets tomorrow. Play a little rank. I love y'all. Much love. See you tomorrow night. Otherwise, if I don't see you tomorrow night, you have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourself. But all but love. See ya.